Hey guys, happy Amazon Prime Day and happy Tuesday. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, I showed 12 o'clock in Texas, guys. Good afternoon, or good noon time, or 12, okay, 12:01, there it is, 12:01, so it is afternoon officially. Officially afternoon, 12:01. Good afternoon, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you got my email earlier. If you did get my email, a couple of you replied and said that the links in the email weren't working, and I tried them, and they were working fine at first. And then they stopped working, and that's actually an issue with the email provider. So I opened a ticket with them, or opened a live chat with them, and they're like, yep, we know about it. We're working on it. Should be resolved soon. So the links in that email should start working again if they haven't already. So apologies for that. Izzo's in the chat today from his work, QTH. That's fun. That's always good. So yeah, we're going to talk about Amazon Prime deals today. And I've got a couple of other things to share with you as well. But let me say up front, for fair trade purposes, Amazon is, I am an Amazon affiliate and an Amazon, what they call an associate. And I can earn commissions on certain items. I think it's pretty much everything, although the commissions on some things is very low, like 0.5%. But they range anywhere from like 0.5% or 1% up to like 10 and 12 and 15% on certain items, and it changes all the time. I don't keep up with it. You can go in there and look all that up, and they break them down by categories and whatnot, and you can go research all that if you want to. I never take the time to do that. I'm just like, use my Amazon link. That's all I care about. So, but I do earn commissions on anything we talk about today. On any of the links that you click on today will earn me a commission, which do help to support the channel, so I really appreciate it. If you don't want to do that for whatever reason, you can just go to Amazon.com and just kind of follow along. So no problem either way. It does not tell me who is and is not clicking on my links. It tells me what you guys are buying, but it doesn't tell me who bought it. Like, it'll tell me, oh, 7 people bought this item today, but it doesn't tell me who those 7 people are. So anyway, let's see. Matt, what's up, buddy? AE4MQ in the house. Good afternoon. Wayne, I see you in there. In fact, let me give a shout out to all the channel members. Chad, Tom, Jeff, Jerry, Izzo, Wayne, other Wayne, Wayne Gary, and Wayne W5WLG and Wayne W5WNR. Ben Lee, NA5T, good afternoon. So thanks for being here today. All right, so this is, and I have pinned this list to the top of the chat, and that's what this list looks like right now. We're going to be adding to this list during this live stream. This is actually my Prime 2024 list, and I went through it, and several items were no longer available. I removed all the older items, and then I've added these last 3 rows. These top 3 rows I added for 2025, and then so all this stuff down here was 2024 Prime deals, but you can see that a lot of it is being recycled. There's a Mega R3 project, Elegoo, whatever that is. Upgraded Nano VNA from Ceci. See, those are still on Prime, or Olights on Prime, battery box on Prime. So they recycle a lot of the stuff. And guess what? They're doing Prime Day. Usually Prime Day in the past has been 2 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. It's 4 days. So I don't think they're going to, this is my guess, and the way they've done it in the past, they put stuff on sale and then they take it off and put other stuff on sale. So it's not the same items on sale the entire time of Prime Day. And that's when they've done it for 2 days. So I assume you're going to see a lot of stuff that's, if it's not on sale today, look tomorrow, look tonight, something like that. So I'll be adding stuff to this list for the next 4 days. I appreciate you guys using that list, which again is pinned to the top of this chat. I'll go ahead and there's people watching on Rumble and on LinkedIn and on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. You might not be able to see the top of the pin chat on YouTube, so I will link that store in the chat once again for all of those folks on those other platforms. Appreciate you guys being here as well. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right, so before we get started, before I go down that rabbit hole, this is something that I was supposed to announce this on the live stream last Sunday, and when I checked the link hadn't quite started yet. It was supposed to start during my live stream on Sunday, and I forgot to look at it by the time I got going with the live stream and, got distracted and whatnot. This is a charity auction from Gigaparts on eBay. This is the exact FTX1 field model that I had at Hamvention when I got that from them at Hamvention. Now, I pre-ordered my FTX1 several months, when Gigaparts started taking pre-orders. I pre-ordered that day. I did the $25 deposit, whatnot. And at Hamvention, they didn't have any Optima models. And I told them I wanted an Optima model. They only had the field model. So they're like, here, take this one. And when we get the Optimas in, we'll switch you out. I'm like, okay, cool. So the one I had at Dayton Hamvention is this exact radio that's being auctioned right now. They wanted to, and they can't sell it as new because it's used. I took it out of the box. I did several videos with it. I carried it around that weekend and let several of you guys play with it. But I sent that back to them when I got my Optima, and they're auctioning it off for the QRZ1 Jumpstart program, which those proceeds go to giving away that QRZ1 HT to newly licensed hams. I'm not sure how all that is working today. There was a point in time where those were free. There was another point in time where they were deeply discounted. If you go buy one at normal price, they're like $50 or $60, but a lot of the times for new hams, newly licensed hams, they can get them on a very deep discount or sometimes free, depending on what the terms are. So all of the money raised from this will go to support that program. So you've got the radio itself, an Explorer backpack, the insert. This is actually the 705 insert, but it fits the FTX1 just fine. I tested it when I was at Gigaparts last month. And then you've got the, I think that's a POTA, the POTA 20 mast. Or no, I'm sorry, the POTA 33 mast. POTA 33 mast. So all of that together for this auction, $835 right now. When I looked at this auction this morning, the price was at $705. I'm like, you can't sell a Yaesu FTX1 for $705. That would be some sort of like, infinite multi-universe loop. You couldn't do that, I don't think. I think the multiverse would explode if you sold an FTX1 for $705, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. So, all right, let's talk about Amazon. So, link that in the chat. You guys go check that out if you're interested. Let me see. I should have invited Frank today. He's not working. That way he can watch the chat for me. But that's okay. I don't know if he's listening. I haven't seen him in the chat. Frank, if you're in the chat, let me know. All right there. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Also, a couple other things. I'm going to show that in a minute. Retevis reached out to me like a month ago, and they said, hey, are you going to do anything for Amazon Prime? I said, of course I am. And they said, okay, here is the Retevis official Amazon store. And they are offering an additional 10% off of their store with the coupon code of HamRadio210. HamRadio210. 210. Ham Radio 2, which is me, and then 10%. So you can get an additional 10% off of the Retevis store, the Retevis Amazon store, with the coupon code of Ham Radio 210. And that is good until July 11th. So they actually started that yesterday, but I didn't live stream yesterday, so that goes for a little bit longer than Prime Day. I will put, for those of you on Team Replay, I will put all of these links in the description of this video once we're done. Okay, the only link in there right now is my idea list of my store, which is right here. So, all right, let's go through this because, like I said, the top 3 lines I added since yesterday. I added a few last night. This guy right here, this Yaesu Tri-Band, this is an excellent radio, by the way. This is the Yaesu VX6R. I have one of these. If you look at the list here, it doesn't really say, you know, some of them show 50% off, 23% off, Prime Day deal. It's kind of weird the way they list them, okay? But if you click on the actual individual item, it'll come down here and it'll say lowest price in 30 days, 7% off for $265. So that's why that one's in there. Same thing with BTEC. All of the BTEC radios, mostly all of the BTEC radios, are on deep discount today through Friday. Okay, the BF F8 HP, the HP Pro, the UV82 HP, the UV5x3, a great tri-band radio, the GMRS V2, the MERS V2, the GMRS Pro, and the UV Pro. I know a lot of you guys have been picking up this UV Pro. Sorry about that, but I didn't know they were doing this. You can get it. You can always get a 10% discount off of the UV Pro on the BTEC website, balefantech.com, with the coupon code of HR2-UV Pro, and that brings it down to like $150-ish, $148 to $150, something like that. They've got it on Amazon today for $140, so even a deeper discount. They said this will be their biggest sale of the year, and all of those models of BTEC are on sale right now. Like here's the UV82 HP. Again, it doesn't say anything on that list, but lowest price in 30 days. Different colors on that one. This is the F8 HP Pro. Lowest price in 30 days, $55 for that one. And the TID radio is actually on sale as well. Lowest price in 30 days, $19.99 for the TID radio. There you go. That's on this list. That's in the chat right now. What's up, Phil and Arthur? Thanks for being here, guys. YouTube channel members. We're going to talk about, Lon, we're going to talk about power banks here in just 1 minute. So TID radio there. Down here I've got the GMRS. No, that's not it. The GMRS Pro is right here. Again, you don't see the red label, but if you click on it, lowest price in 30 days, 19% off for the GMRS, BTEC GMRS Pro. Okay, so just because something's not listed in this list, but if you're looking at a BTEC radio, now's the time. Now's the time to get a BTEC radio because, according to Baofeng Tech, they're going to, this is going to be their best sale of the year. Now, we'll see what happens when, we'll see what happens when Black Friday rolls around in November. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But that's what they're telling me, so that's what I'm telling you guys. It's always fun, always fun. And don't forget the Retevis discount either. And again, I'll put all these links. Retevis is actually they want to do they said they wanted to give away 2 or 3 radios during Prime Day. And I'm like, great, let's do that. But they never told me what models they were giving away. So I'm probably going to live stream this again Thursday, because like I said, all these links will be changing. I'm probably going to live stream again Thursday. I will try to find out from Retevis between now and then which ones they are wanting to give away. Lon, I do not think so. If you already have items in your cart, will your link work, he asks. No, I don't think so. I think the link from whatever you know what? I mean, if you have 2 or 3 things in there already that you didn't get from me and then you add my stuff to it, the links that you add of my stuff will work for you, for me. I'll get credit for that. I don't think it'll work for the old stuff, but who cares? Just click on it anyway. Just do whatever you got to do. I don't remove and re-add everything for me. Just add some of my stuff from my links to whatever you already have existing in your cart. So no big deal. All right, let's go back over here. Okay, so we're gonna search for specific items. You guys figure out what you want to search for. We're gonna add some stuff to this list. Somebody mentioned power banks a minute ago, so yeah, this one's new. I've talked about these INIU power banks for a while. I've got 2 versions of it. This is a new version. This one says it's a 100 watt. And I think what that means is that it's 100 watts continuous between all 3 ports on top. Okay, this is, let's see, not that one. This is the original one that I bought. I still have it. I still use it. I carry it in my little shoulder bag that I carry with me. It is a 22.5 watt, 10,000 milliamp hour capacity. 22.5 watts is the output power from the USB-C port, and I think from all 3 combined ports, and then 10,000 milliamp hour is the total capacity. You can see it's not on Amazon sale right now. It's only $23, but it's not on Amazon sale right now. This guy right here, no, not that one. This, let's see, this other one. I'm going to go to the INIU store. So, because they've got 2 or 3 new models out. This guy right here, yeah, this 20,000. So I've got this 20,000 milliamp hour, 65 watt, but they have it in a new mini size. I've got the classic size. And if you look at this right here, you can see it's got and I've done a whole video on this. It's got the far left USB-C port is 65 watts. The middle port is 36 watts. And the USB-A port is 18 watts. That 36 watt port ran my Starlink mini dish for 2 hours. This is the power bank that I was at the deer lease. I got the Starlink mini in. It was new to me. I was out there. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try this. And I was sitting there connected to Starlink from my phone, running my Starlink mini dish, which is USB-C powered, from this device, not even on this 65 watt port. I was running it on the 36 watt port. The Starlink was pulling, according to the Starlink app, it was pulling 20 to 22 watts. So, yeah, plenty of juice from the 36 watt port. And it was working great. Ran it for 2 hours. Just over, like 2 hours and 5 or 10 minutes, something like that. So I really, really like this device. Now they've got it in a mini size. It's a little bit thicker, but it's shorter. I think it's the same width and shorter, but it's thicker. They call it a mini device. They've got it in different colors, although sadly, it doesn't look like the other colors are on Prime Day sale. Normal price is $60. The black one today is $39.34. And then this other one, and that's the 65 watt total out, or well, you can see one of those USB ports is 65 watts. So they've got this one here that says it's 100 watt. Now, do they have a 100 watt USB-C PD port on the front of it? I don't know, because they don't give you a picture of this. But holy crap, I've been so happy with the 2 other INIU power banks that I have. And this one, again, this one comes in multicolors. Only the black one's on sale today. 23% off, $54. Normal, I would probably choose this red one right here just to be different. But normal price is $80 on the colored ones. Yellow, white, red, orange, and what is that? Blue. Oh, the blue one's nice. But they're all $80 on the various colored ones, and then the black one is $54. So that's the one you're going to want to get. So those are on the, I'm going to add, I don't think this specific model is on my list yet. I'm going to add it right now. But I've been very happy. I've had that little one that I showed you in the beginning. I've had that one for probably, this one right here. I've had that one for probably like a year and a half. And I don't use it every day or even every week. But I carry it in my EDC pack, and when I'm going somewhere and realize that my phone is getting low or my wife's phone's getting low, we plug that in, and it works great. Been very, very, very happy with that. All right. Chat. Looking for a DMR radio? Okay, we can look at that. I know if I use the link and then buy stuff, it'll work. Okay. Anker is my favorite brand. Anker is a good brand too. So we're gonna let's look at the Anker stuff because, in fact, I'm probably gonna pick up one of these myself. I'll show you what I'm gonna grab because this one's on sale again. Let's see, right here, 60,000 watt power bank Anker, 47% off. That's almost half price. It's almost half price for that. Portable outdoor 87 watt with smart digital display, retractable auto lighting. It's got a little lantern thingy on the top of it. Home back. You're not going to back up your home with that unless you live in a tiny home. But yeah, that thing is freaking cool. And I've had one of these in my wish list for a while. 50% off today. I'm probably gonna have to grab that myself because why not? So here's a direct link to that, although this is on my store too, so I appreciate you guys using my store link. In fact, you know what? Let's go to the Anker store. I've got this big boy. Anker sent me this one that was actually a home battery backup. Chargers, power station. Power banks? Well, that's not a very big one. Okay, let's, not that one. 7,200, 7,300, something like that is the number on it. Let's see. Anker Prime, let's just look there. A lot of their little stuff here. These USB-C cables from Anker are fan-freaking-tastic. They're this braided material, and you can just tell they're going to last a long, long time. I've got a couple of those. So you guys put the word question in the chat if you have a question or if you just have a statement that you want me to read, because it highlights it if you put the word question in the chat. Even if it's not a question, that's fine. I'll see it a little bit better because I don't have Frank here watching the chat for me today. Let's see. I don't guess they have their big home battery backup systems on this sale, but I got one of their, you know what? I think that's it. The F3. No, that's not it. I've got the older version of this. I got the older stand-up version. Now, 2 or 3 times recently, my power has gone out. The neighborhood power went out a few months ago because of, not because of storms, but because of work they were doing on the neighborhood, on the grid, and then there was another time when the storm went out. Well, guess what? I've got Fios internet, fiber internet, and it comes in and has a power supply in my garage, and I have a line run into my living room, and that line plugs into a power strip that I have running my router, my smart home devices, and my internet. So when my power goes out, I grab my Anker and I roll it. It's on wheels. I roll it over there. I keep it charged up all the time anyway. So I roll it over there. I plug my internet in, and I plug my TV in, and then I have internet. And I have YouTube TV, YouTube on TV, and YouTube TV both, and everything works. And then when the power comes back on, I just unplug it, and it doesn't hurt to reboot your system every now and then anyway. So, yeah. But Anker is a good brand. Been really happy with the quality of their products. So there we go. Okay. Question: deal for HF antennas? That's a good one. Question: 220 radio. Hardy, what do you want to know about a 220 radio? Do you want to know a suggestion for 220 radio? I like that UV3. I'm sorry, the UV 5x3, which is right here. This is the lowest price of the year according to Baofeng Tech. BTEC UV 5x3 tri-band. I've had this radio for about 4, maybe 5 years myself. I don't use it all the time. I typically will use this during hunting season. I take it out to the hunting lease. There's a 220 repeater out there that works very well. It's really high up. And then, of course, I use it on 2 meters 440 for the regular stuff. So, but it's still like 5 years later, it's still kicking. That's the one that I use. Sadly, I looked up a G90. G90s have been on sale in the past. I do not see a G90 sale for Prime Day. Again, right now, we got 4 more days of this. Rest of today and 3 more days after today. So maybe they'll put it on there. It's right there in the list. Keep checking it. We'll see. HF antenna. Let's look at that. I saw, yeah, $50 for that Baofeng Tech is not bad. Lawnmower's correct. So HF antenna. So, okay, so I don't know. Can you guys see the drop down on the, yeah, you can see that, right? Can you see this one? No, you can't see that one. Okay, if you, let me make sure I'm showing this screen correctly. Okay, right there. Now, you see the all at the top there? Now, when I click on that, it doesn't show it doesn't show up in the screen capture, okay? But when you click on all to the left of the search bar, there used to be a thing, and in years past there used to be a Prime Day or Prime Deals at the top there. That's not there anymore, but I found it. They hid it. I don't know why, but they did. If you go down to the J's and you find it's listed as just for Prime, and now you can see it. Now you can see it in the window right there. Just for Prime. And you can search inside the Just for Prime deals, and supposedly that'll bring you up Prime deals, and that's the way to find them. So HF antenna, HF ham radio antenna. I was actually poking around. Now you can see it didn't. None of these are actually listed as being on sale, but if you click on them. Yeah, that one's not on sale either. So it doesn't seem like their Just for Prime thing is very on the spot like the Prime section has been in the past. I don't. They probably want you clicking around the website more and more and finding oh, look, shiny, and adding that to your cart. I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Dan? So I was poking around looking for antennas the other day on a completely unrelated topic, and I found 2 or 3 antennas that I was like, I haven't seen that one before. So I was finding some HF antennas that were unique and something that was new, something I hadn't seen before. So I'm like, oh, okay. I made a note of them. This is one of them right here. Not on Prime Day. HF infed, 4-band, 8-band, 1 megahertz to 30 megahertz, 100 watt. That's a 100 watt junction box there. The thing that makes it 4-band or 8-band is how much wire you add to it. So there's that one. Now I'm not going to add it to the list because it's not on the Prime Day sale. This is the brand is, it says the brand is Antenna, but it's spelled wrong. Antenna, Antenna, Antenna. Okay. 3.5 to 3.5 megahertz, and so 80 meters, and then it says 7 to 30 megahertz, so that's 40 to 10. So it skips like, I guess, 60 meters. Okay. Anyway, so it doesn't do 60 meters. Telescoping. I have no idea if this is any good or not. It's got 3 reviews on it, all of them 5 out of 5 stars. It's probably 3 employees of this company. I don't know. So, Antenna. No, that's not a real store. This is cool. If you're going to run Meshtastic, this is not on sale. If you're going to run Meshtastic mobile, plug this into your Meshtastic node and get a 900 megahertz antenna and put this on the window of your car. Yep. You're going to get a lot of loss with that much coax. Hey, you know what? Cut the coax and put your SMA, put it on a 6 inches of coax. Do that. Be a ham radio operator. Modify it. So there you go. That's cool. Those are SMA to BNC adapters. 3 of those for $10, 20% off. Okay, I'm going to stick those on there. Let's go back to HF antennas. Where'd it go? I lost it. I wish they would put these things in order. But they don't. Field day. I'm going to start back up at the top again. I don't know where it went. There it is, Prime Day. Okay. All right, let's go back to HF antennas. So, yeah, I test that one out and see what it's like. I don't know. Are you looking for antennas for your vehicle or for like a portable like a POTA thing? There's a Nano VNA antenna analyzer. dual band high gain antenna for your HT. I'm not familiar with that brand either. I mean, you can find all kinds of HF antenna stuff in here. Is any of it any good? I don't know. I don't really know. You just have to try it and test it out, I guess, or read some reviews on it. Find something with a good review. Like this one right here has 9 reviews. This one right here has 12. This one has 35 reviews. Okay. The gable antennas are decent. Those are decent antennas. I've used a couple of those in the past. 9-to-1 Balun from the T-Best store. Okay. 9-to-1 Balun is good for a random wire that you can use with a tuner. Prime Day, okay. The GRA 7350 TC has a 25% off coupon. Is that that's a gable antenna, right? GRA 7350 TC. Laser engraved. Hey, okay then. Original stainless telescoping whips. That's just the whip. Okay, right there. I see it. 25% off coupon right there. Laser engraved. And yeah, this is a gable antenna. Okay. I've been very happy with that antenna bag that they made. And I know some other people who have used this antenna, and it's been getting fairly high reports from what I've heard. This is not a Prime Day deal, but they do have a 25% off coupon. So I'm going to add it to this list. Thank you, Hank. Ham sticks. Let's just look at ham sticks then. Ham stick antenna. Boom. All right. No. Shark antennas, those are good. Those are made in the USA antennas. No Prime deal there. Not seeing any ham sticks that are actually on Prime sale. That's a no-go. Let's see. Okay. KJ3FF. I was not planning to stream on Unplugged. No. I might. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. I thought about that. It's 6 1/2 dozen the other. Here's my here's the main link on my Amazon store, and if you click on idea lists, these are all the lists I put together. And if you scroll down here, I have a list for RV and van life stuff for that channel, which I have linked from most of the videos on that channel. I have to go find it. So, well, there's an overlanding one right there. Maybe I called it overlanding and not RV. Maybe I'll create an RV list. I thought I had one called RV, but maybe I called it overlanding. It's probably a good idea that I did something with that, but oh, right here. RV camping and off-grid. That's what it is right there. One Tigress has their stuff on sale. Disposable towels. EcoFlow's running another good holiday Prime Day sale rather. Got an email from them yesterday about that. This one Tigress brand of stuff, that's I've been really happy with their products. Mountain House. 25% off. Okay, if you guys have ever done hiking or soda, this is some of the best freeze-dried food that I have found. I've tried like 3, maybe 4 different brands. Mountain House is my favorite. Now, tastes vary. Maybe you don't agree. That's okay. But I really, really like the Mountain House stuff. Spaghetti with beef marinara. It's pretty hearty, and anytime you can, and it's not cheap, so anytime you can find that on sale, and it's got like it's either a 10 or a 20-year shelf life, so it's not like you have to buy it today and eat it by the end of the month or something, but it's got it's got a shelf, it's got a pretty good shelf. You got to keep it in a cool, dry spot, but it's got a really good shelf life on it. So yeah, see all this Mountain House stuff down here? Cheesy beef enchilada, Mexican-style adobo, veggie chorizo breakfast scramble. That sounds good. Pepperoni pizza bowl. Those are all good. I mean, those are my favorite ones out of the ones I've tried. So, yeah, you can see I last purchased these in 2020. I've still got those. I eat these at the deer camp sometimes. When I'm camping there by myself or hunting by myself, I will usually fire up one of these and just pour some boiling water into it and go from there. If my buddies are with me, we'll usually cook on the grill or something. But if I'm by myself, I'm just like, I'm just going to crack open one of these and eat it. I've always been real happy with those. But yeah, this is my RV list here, so go check that out. That Anker battery, does it put noise out on HF? The larger one, it depends on what you're doing with it. The DC to AC inverter can, yes. The smaller one, I actually don't have that one yet, so I haven't tried that. It'd be interesting to try one of those battery packs on either the IC705 or the FTX1 or something with that will run on USB-C and try to run it that way. That's a good experiment. I have not tried that yet with Anker. QRP Life says he has an Anker and it is clean. There you go. Where did you see a Jackery? Vic, where'd you see a Jackery? I've been going too fast through there. You know what? Let's just look at Jackery. Forget it. Just Prime. Not that this matters. Yeah, this Just Prime thing doesn't seem to... Jackery. Boom. Okay, there's the Explorer 2000. 44% off. 2,042 watt hours. 2,200 watt solar generator. USB-C PD 100 watt. 834, 44% off. This one, what does that have? Some cable with it? 38% off. Yeah. 35 to 44%. That's nearly 50% off. I'm going to add that one to my list. Jackery's a good brand. I do not own a Jackery. I use all EcoFlow stuff, and quite frankly, the reason I use EcoFlow stuff is because they partnered with me a while back. And there's something to be said for so here's how, I don't want to get into a big thing. That's not what this video today is about. I need a drink though. So there's brands that are very good. There's brands that are not so good, and there's brands that will partner with you. And brands that will partner with you is inside of one of those first two. Brands that are good, brands that are not good. So the way I do my partnerships, and I've said this before on the channel, I just want to make something clear. If a brand reaches out to me and wants to partner with me and sends me a product and I like it, I'll partner with them and I'll recommend them. Does it mean this is the best brand on the planet? No, not necessarily. It just means it works really well and I like to use it. Are there other brands out there that are just as good, maybe better? Perhaps. I don't know. I haven't partnered with them, so I don't know yet. Some stuff I just buy on my own. But if you're talking about a really expensive battery system, like the Jackery or the EcoFlow, or the Gold Zero is another good one, Anker, of course. Anker and EcoFlow have partnered with me, and they offer discounts. They offer affiliate links, of course. They offer discounts to you guys a lot of the times as well. I've gotten specific Ham Radio 2.0 discount codes for both Anker and EcoFlow in the past. The EcoFlow stuff is still active. So, does that make them better than Jackery? Not necessarily. I've just never owned a Jackery, so I can't speak to it. I know that they're a good brand because I know a lot of people who use Jackery, and I've read a lot about them. But I've never partnered with them because actually they have emailed me a couple times, and I've replied back to them saying, yes, I'm interested in partnering with you, and then that ends up going nowhere. So that's my take on brands. I recommend EcoFlow because EcoFlow has partnered with me, and I know for sure they're good because I use them myself at my hunting lease, and I've been doing that for 3 years. But Jackery's also good. Goal Zero's also good. Anker, which I haven't used at the hunting lease, but I've used at home, Anker is also very good. So that's my take on brands. Choose the brand that you like the best and go with that. QRP Life, let's see. Search this. 2-pack Molly pouches, tactical. Okay, hold on. I will do that. Is it this one? Oh, heck, dude, I own 2 of these. Yeah, purchased another variation one time. I've got a blue set of these. Is that what you're talking about right here? That is a good price. 20% off of those. Those are good. I keep my Buddy Pole Power Mini in one of these with a battery, with a Denko battery, and a junction box that'll go from Power Pole to USB A and C, I think. And I keep that with me in one of my Explorer, my antenna backpacks, so that if I'm out in the field and I need to charge my phone, my camera, I always have my camera in the field, right? Or my tablet or something like that, I reach in there and I grab that and I can charge that, and I can use the Power Mini for the radio and the charger. And then, of course, I can put a solar panel in. Solar panel is not going to fit in this bag. But, yeah, I use these packs myself. Yeah. Great for small ancillary stuff. Yeah, I can't say that word. Sorry, but yeah, you're right. No, I've got 2 of these. They're the blue ones, and I've got my patches. They come with these patches. That's cool, but you can change the patches on them too. Good, yeah, good find there. These are the ones I've got right here. Those blue ones right there. Good deal. Okay. Opus Mega 1 and Mega 2 are on sale. Opus. Oh, is that a power station? I think I've heard of them. Opus. Yes. I've seen Jason's videos on this. Yeah. Have not used one of these myself. Oh, that's cool. Okay, look at that. It's got a power pole unit in right there. That looks like an output. Is that an output? It's in the yeah, DC. Yeah, it's got a power pole output. Nice. Cool. 29% off. That's not bad. Okay, I'll add that to the list. Have not used these. Don't really know much about them. Jason does use these, and he recommends them, and I trust his opinion. Don't tell him I said that, but I do trust his opinion. Oh, it's got an RV plug on it, too. Plug your RV, 30 amp max right into there. Ha! I really like these power stations where you can run your RV directly through it without having to drop down to like a 110 plug. I did that for the first couple of years. I had one of these. I just dropped it down to I got a 30 amp, the round 30 amp RV plug, and got an adapter. You can get them at any RV store. They're very common. That adapts it down to the standard 110 volt plug in your house, which is a lower amperage, 15, 20 amps usually. It works okay for running everything except your microwave and your air conditioner. But these ones right here with the 30 amp max plug on them, much more convenient. Plug directly in. Don't have to worry about the conversion. And generally speaking, it'll run your air conditioner. I don't know if this one will or not. My EcoFlow that has this plug will run my air conditioner, but only run it for like 2.5 hours because the air conditioner sucks down a lot of power. Opus pronounced closer to oops. Oops. That, I don't know if I'd want to name my company Oops if I was a manufacturer, but hey, to each his own, I guess. All right, what else, guys? What else? of some of the Exodus models. Jeff, what's up, Jeff? I saw you in the chat earlier. Oh, okay, this is the Jackery 1000. This is half the size of the one we were looking at a minute ago. Comes with a bag, 42% off. Still deep discount on that, almost half off. Let's add that one to the mix. Prime Day, boom. What is a decent, affordable 12-volt cooler and fridge? Are there any that come with the battery? That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked, because Iceco is running a Prime Day sale. I got their email like an hour before this live stream went live. Iceco. Now, as far as coming with a battery, there's not many of them that do that. This is a external battery that you buy in addition to an Iceco, and it's made to run the Iceco. This has actually got a magnet on the back of it, and it attaches to the back of the Iceco, and then you plug the Iceco in, and it becomes battery powered. I have not tried to do. They sent me this. I have this battery. It works great. It'll charge my phone about 97 times because it's a big battery, but I haven't actually used it to try to power my Iceco yet. I'll show you here. Give me 1 second. Let me add a couple of these, and I'll show you one that does have a battery, an internal battery. Other than that, so 20% off. Iceco sale is 20% off. They're running a 20% off sale on several of their items right now. I got an email from them this morning. Let's see. Do they have... No. Deals and news, maybe. Okay. This is going to be the list of all their Iceco. I currently have 2 Iceco refrigerators. In the past, I had a third model, and I like it just fine, and I sold that model to buy the upgraded model that I have now in the back of my truck, and then they sent me one of these... the model in my truck I have right now, they sent me one of these JP40s. That's the one on wheels. I have a whole video on that on the channel as well. I really, really like the Iceco brand. Here's a link to the Iceco Amazon store. I really like the Iceco brand. I think that it's a top-notch and very solid brand. Okay, but no buts. I mean, there's no question. And again, this is a brand that partnered with me. Are there other brands out there that are just as good, maybe better? Of course. Yes, but I don't know that from experience because I've never actually used them. I've partnered with Iceco because they reached out to me and they said, we want to send you a fridge. Can you test it? I said, of course. And I loved it. I loved all 3 of the... They sent me one for free. I sold that to a friend so that I could buy the second one. The second one I bought at the More Expo 2 years ago. And... been using that, and then they sent me one of these ones with wheels for free again. But again, they partnered with me, and they offer a permanent 12% discount to you guys, and I've linked to that from several videos. Permanent 12% discount on their website for Ham Radio 2.0 viewers and subscribers. Now, today's discount's 20%, so it's much better if you're serious about one, go get one during Prime Day. This is a better deal for you guys. Okay, so. But yeah, Iceco is the brand I like. Now, having said that, there are lots of other brands out there. EcoFlow actually came up with a fridge that I saw at this year's More Expo. And they sent me one of these. They call it a Glacier. EcoFlow Glacier. And you see that little dude right there? That's a battery pack that goes inside the side of this thing. Let's see. I think it goes... They're not going to show a picture of it, are they? It goes on the front, on the bottom, like kind of like, not on that side, maybe. It goes on the back side. The back side where the lid is open. They're not going to show you the back side where the lid's not open. Yeah, that's the lid. That's the lid. Anyway, oh, you know what? It goes right there. Right, that's the battery right there. I hope you can see that. That is the side where the lid's open. I guess it goes, okay, it goes behind that door right there. That's what it is. Goes behind that door right there. They sent me one of these, and it was damaged when I got it. So I haven't actually made a video, but now it works just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But they didn't send me the battery. They just sent me the fridge, and the fridge was damaged when I got it. So I sent them a picture of it and saying, just FYI, I got it. It looks like this. Do you want me to make a video with this, yes or no? And I haven't got a response back yet. 22% off of that. But the cool thing about this fridge, okay, and I guess this is true with the Iceco too. You can buy the battery comes separately, so you have to buy except for this deal right here, the battery comes with it. They didn't send me a battery. They just sent me the fridge. I'm going to put this in the list real quick. But the cool thing, when they had this one running at the More Expo at their booth, EcoFlow was at the More Expo this year, first time they'd been there. They had this one running at the booth, and they had a second battery outside of the booth charging from one of their power stations. So he's like, yeah, when the fridge dies, I just switch the battery out, put the old one in the charger, put the new one in the fridge, and it'll run for another, I think, like 6 hours, he said, something like that, once it cools down. So really cool battery system in this EcoFlow fridge. This thing's a little bit bigger and heavier than the Iceco that I have, and the newest Iceco I have has wheels on it. We took that to our family reunion last month, my wife and I, and she's like, hey, what fridge are we going to take? I was like, we're going to take the one with freaking wheels on it, so we can load it up, put it in the truck, we lifted it in the truck, lifted it down off the truck, and then carried it, wheeled it into the house by ourselves, so much easier to carry around than something like this that has no wheels. So, but get whatever works for you. You want to put it somewhere and just leave it there? This is going to be great. Okay. POTA related, you're going to be carrying it to a POTA website. If you're going to leave it in your vehicle, it's probably fine. The one that I have in my truck right now, the Iceco that I have in my truck right now does not have, I don't have a battery for it. I have it plugged into my truck battery, my truck external battery. But it doesn't have wheels, but I never take it out of the truck, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So, hopefully, Ian, that was probably more of an answer you were looking for. Looking for a DMR HT around $150. Let's just search for that. DMR HT around $150. Maybe one of the TYTs. That BF HP Pro is not a DMR radio. Okay. DMR and analog. There's, who makes that? It's not on sale, but it's only $70. Elidape? Never heard of this guy. Never heard of it. These Baofangs are okay. I think that there's that OpenGD77 firmware, I think, works on these, and it opens up a lot of features in it. They're okay. They're not, I wouldn't call them great, but, you know, they work. They work. This looks like a copy of the Anytone D168, and it's about a half the price. I think the Anytone D168 is about $200. In fact, that one's listed at 50% off right there. Assuming that this Aeroton, I don't know who that, never heard of them. But assuming, since it's got the same exact model number, DM168, and it looks very similar to the Anytone, I'm going to guess that this is probably made by Anytone. It's rebranded, and it's 50% off, less than $100. I'd be willing to take my chances on that. Now, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Maybe it's no good. But great thing about Amazon is they accept returns pretty easily. Radtel. Those are okay. Here's a, well, the TID radio is already on my list, but it's not a DMR radio anyway. There's the BTEC 6x2. That's a good option. The BTEC 6x2 DMR. In fact, is it on the BTEC sale? It is not. It is not on the BTEC sale. 6x2 Pro. No, not on the BTEC sale either. Retevis RT35 DMR radio, $95. Okay. That one's very similar to the TYT. 20% off of that one brings it down to $100, less than $100. EcoFlow just announced their Prime Day sale about 1 minute. I got an email from them this morning, Lon, but they might have sent it to me early. Yeah, I would probably go with this, what's it called? I added this to my list just now. This Aeroton. I'd probably go with this one. Because if it has all of the features, 3 antennas, USB-C charging, programming for hunting, teamwork, whatever that means, 10,000 talk groups, 2 batteries. Yeah, I'd probably go for that one right there. If you're looking to, if you don't want to go with the actual Anytone brand, which in my opinion, the Anytone brand is the best one out there right now. Just is. It's just the best one out there. One of the most expensive ones, but is the best one out there right now. So, I have heard good things about this Baofeng DM32. This looks like that, what did I call it? It looks like that one I reviewed a while ago that's a copy of a Motorola APX radio. But the guy who was teaching the general class that I recorded at Gigaparts last month, he had one of these, and he really liked. He said he put it on a Nano VNA, and spectral purity on the thing is great. So I'm probably going to pick up one of the. In fact, I may have one of those. I can't remember. I can't remember if I actually bought one or not. But I'm going to pick up one of these, do a video on it, because this is a neat looking radio. It looks like an APX radio. It looks like a Motorola radio. It's not. It's not a Motorola radio. You can tell because that price tag right there would be $8,000 instead of $84 if it was a Motorola radio. But I've heard good things about this, so I'm going to test it out for myself. Not on Prime Sale, though. Let's see. Where's the HF stuff? We talked about that a little bit, Don. Welcome to the party. Most every DMR radio is also going to do analog. There are a few very minor exceptions to that. Motorola makes a couple of small USB chargeable HTs that are digital only, and I think that I found one from some unknown brand that was very, very small, compact, put in your pocket radio that was digital only. But 99% of the time, your DMR radios are going to do analog also. So yeah, that's not unusual. Let's see. Better than the RT4D. Ken, I'm not familiar with the RT4D. Tell me what that is. Iron Bunny says he owns 2 DM32s. Great radios. Have you put it on a Nano VNA? I'm sorry. Have you put it on a Tiny SA? Have you tested for spurious emissions on it? Because some Baofengs are pretty clean, but most of them are not. And I'm told that this one is clean, but I'm wondering if you've done it. Where's the HF stuff? Don, yeah, Don, we talked about some HF antennas a minute ago. The G90 is not on sale right now. I can just search for Zygu, I guess. Boom. They got a little bow. 6100. Are they even still making that one? The 6200 came out last year. No sale on it. Well, 5% off. 5%. Okay. Let's see. There's a bow on that one, too. Yeah, this is not on sale. $441. That's kind of a common price. You can pretty much get it at that price all the time. Black Friday, a lot of times you can get this radio for under $400. And again, this is a 4-day Prime Day sale. So they might add it to the list before now and Friday. So keep checking my list because I've got this radio in my list right here. Here's the 6200. Not on sale. There's the H1 bracket for the G90. That one's on 20% discount. We'll go ahead and add that one in there. Prime Day. Boom. Okay, then. Meshtastic. I was thinking about searching Meshtastic anyway. Okay, let me look at that. Hold on. Nope. Make that a little bit bigger and see it easier. Okay. Don. Okay, let me look at Don's radio first because he mentioned that. TYT TH9000. Yep, 9000D. TH9000. You were 220 mobile? Yeah, that's this one right here. Not on sale, Don. Here it is right here. I've still got mine. I haven't fired this thing up in several years. That clearly says TYT, and the brand is called Fenghu. Fenghu. Whatever the heck that is. Okay. But yeah, there it is right there. Not on sale, so I'm not going to add it to the list. $140, that's a pretty standard price. Meshtastic. Okay, let's look at Meshtastic. Because I wanted to search for those anyway. I think I searched LilyGo last night and I added a couple of LilyGo items to the, but they had LilyGo, Norman. And last night, because Amazon has been emailing the influencers saying, here's some stuff that's going to be on sale, here's some but don't share it early, That's why my email went out this morning. So I kind of knew about a few things, but let's see. Fong Hu might be the seller, but it says brand, Fong Hu. So I guess to them, brand and seller is the same thing, but it's really not. Meshtastic, okay. All right. There's a 2-pack of Heltec these Heltec V3s, man, you can find these things pretty regularly. And they're okay. I've kind of graduated beyond these Heltec. Although that one right there looks like it has an internal battery. I didn't like the fact that you had to plug the Heltec into an external battery when I was carrying mine around. But there's 3D printed enclosures and stuff you can get for them right there. That one's 20% off right now. It looks like it's a 2-pack for 20% off. About $25 a pop after that. Same thing there. The Sense Cap from Seed Studios is not on sale right now. UTY, I think KB5 UTY, Dave, I think I saw you in the chat earlier. Is Seed planning any Prime Day sales? He kind of partners with Seed Studios on some stuff. So, wondering about that. Let's see. What's this? That's still a Heltec board in there. Just a different case for it. 20% off of that 2-pack, okay. Has internal battery. Okay, good. Good. Prime Day, okay. So, some stuff's in there. Make sure to check 436 megahertz Heltecs for balloon chasing and support Andrew. Yeah, it's a good idea. Is he using 430? He's not using 900 megahertz on his balloon? Huh. I got an email from him about that launch they did last Sunday, and I was like, if we hadn't just come back from an 8-day vacation, I would have gone to that. But that's the second launch they've done, like, in the last couple of months. So hopefully they'll do another one soon, because they just did one, and then they did another one. And prior to this first one they did this year, I think it's been more than a year since they've done one. So I'd like to catch one. I told him, I texted Andrew and I said, hey, I want to come out to this, but then that one day got rained out, and they did it the next day, and I had plans that day already, and la. I just haven't been able to connect with them yet for 2025. 436 for Radio Sunday. I don't know what that is, but okay. I thought they had put an actual Meshtastic 900 megahertz node on it at one point. There was that one that I have a video on this channel that's like 3 or 4 years old of them doing the launch. They had like 5 different devices on it. They had APRS, they had a DMR repeater, they had a LoRa device, not Meshtastic, but a LoRa device. And then they had something else too. I can't remember what else it was, but they had like 5 payloads on that. It was really cool to watch how they launched that thing. Yeah, about the only Meshtastic stuff I'm seeing is... Oh, there's some antennas. Okay. Is the Heltec stuff. Which, that's okay. You know, the Heltec stuff is okay. It's a good entry-level device. Again, I've kind of graduated beyond the Heltec. They're still fine. They're just... You know, there's better devices out there for more money. Better devices for more money. Again, these are a very excellent entry-level device. Having extended range antennas is always a good idea. 16% off. This is a 2-pack here. Okay. What else? What else? Let's see. Here's my store. If you guys lose this link, you just go to my store and click on the first Prime Day 2025 idea list right here at the top. You can find it. And this list is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to go ahead and share this in the chat on Rumble again. Thank you for joining us on Rumble. Looks like there's about 11 people watching on Rumble right now. You know, I use Restream to multicast to all these platforms, and Rumble has worked with the chat integration a couple of times. Usually it doesn't, but I've seen it work one or two times, and I don't understand why it works sometimes and not others, but it is what it is, I guess. B-Tech Radios has joined the Instagram feed. Get the UV Pro and BF F8 HP Pro while they are there. Not many of the tan ones left, they said. Thanks for joining, guys. We talked about the B-Tech and all y'all's good sales here just a little bit ago. So I appreciate you guys joining the Instagram chat. Radio Sonde, or Sonde, or however you say that, is a battery-powered instrument package typically attached to a weather balloon, measures and transmits atmospheric data to the ground station. Okay, cool. Hey, a weather device on a weather balloon. Who'd have thought? What a concept, right? Okay, yeah. I just want to put ham radio crap on a weather balloon. Who cares about the weather? I'm kidding. Yeah, no, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. No, that's fine. I got to text somebody. Hold on. So what else? What else do y'all want to look for? That's fine. I'm currently still in my meeting, we'll be done soon. Meeting a guy to sell a thing on Facebook Marketplace here shortly. Okay. Can you make another video with the Hextenna and the new Yaesu? Where did that go? There it is. KJ5JPA. The Hextenna and the new Yaesu. Okay. I can look at that. I want to use that Hextenna again. Really like that antenna. And I'm definitely going to be using the new Yaesu in several videos upcoming. So, yeah. Yeah, I can look at that. Thanks for the idea. B-Tech Radios is, yeah, there they are. So, yeah, see, the Instagram chat is transferring over. But the Rumble chat doesn't. I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Did y'all already do the dongles? Dongles. What are you talking about, Don? 45 Auto, good afternoon. Don, that's actually a good idea. Have Andrew come onto a live stream and explain it. I've talked to Andrew about coming on and talking about that before. That was probably 2 or 3 years ago when we were talking about that, and we haven't really followed up about that, but that's a really good idea. Be a really good topic for a live stream. SDR dongles, okay. No, we haven't done that yet. All right, sawn off, Zigbee. What the heck is that? Gateway antenna for home assistant. That's just like a Wi-Fi dongle, I think. That's not SDR. RTL SDR does not look like it's on Prime Day sale. Nope. Some antennas and jumpers there. RTL SDR stuff does not look as it looks. No Prime Day sales on that stuff. At least not yet. Again, 4 days of this stuff. 4 days for this sale. They could go on there. DigiRig. That's a good question. DigiRig. There's a DigiRig. No, it doesn't look like it. Nope. No sale on the DigiRig. DigiRig cables. Nothing there. Nope. Doesn't look like it. A lot of the times the smaller vendors don't participate in the sale, but that's okay. Digirig SDR. One more. He's only talking about dongles because it has Dawn in it. That's funny. Yes, Norman, I used, this is OBS you're watching right now. That is correct. $299 is a good price on the Anker C300. Is that the one we talked about? I don't remember the model. C300. No, we didn't talk about that one. 209. 209, Timothy. 300 watt, 600 surge, 100 watt two-way fast charging, 288 watt hour. It's not a bad price. 30% off. 209 though. Boom. Anker's a good brand. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Which one was it that I was looking at? I think I'm gonna probably buy this. That little guy that goes in your backpack. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. In your list. Yeah. This Anker Power Bank Power Station. I don't really have a number on it. Not in the listing anyway. It's probably got some number somewhere. I think there's one that's even smaller than this that's good. But I mean, 50% off of that thing. My gosh, how can you go wrong with that? Flex Radio is not sold on Amazon. Sorry. Minnow, however you say that. PA9 MWO. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the DX, buddy. Good to see you from the Netherlands. Lon, that was probably there. Yeah. Last weekend there was a balloon over DFW with a crossband repeater outputting on 446.0. I never could figure out the 2-meter input frequency. That was the Plano Amateur Radio Club balloon team. They launched on Sunday morning. Yeah. So go check out. They have a mailing list. If you go to the Plano Amateur Radio Club website and sign up for their balloon team mailing list, you'll get emails when they're doing stuff. I'm on that list. I bet it'll charge the FTX1 battery, Dawn, because it's 87 watt output. This, I assume you're talking about this one on my screen right now. Yeah. The FTX1 battery needs a 45 watt or better, and 87 obviously is higher than 45. So yeah, that should be no problem charging that at all. When does the next Gigaparts make an offer? We do not have anything planned as of right now. We are going to do it again, but it's probably going to be a few months. Is it RWK or is it... I thought it was Park Balloon. P-A-R-K Balloon, I think is the email header that I get. You know what? Let me look it up. I thought it was Park, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is RWK. It's called PARK Balloon on groups.io. And so I'm reading the email. The Richardson area balloon addicts, Richardson Wireless Club, will be launching, but they call it Park Balloon. So maybe is it a collaboration between Richardson Wireless Club and the Plano Amateur Radio Club? I don't know, because they call it Park Balloon, and Park is Plano Amateur Radio Club. Let's see if I can find a freaking link to this. Whoever does it, they're giving K5RWK links in this email, but they're calling, I don't know. That's confusing. Let me see if I can find a link to this mailing list. Home. Park Balloon at K5PRK.groups.io. It sounds like a collaboration to me. That's the link to the groups.io list. And it looks to me like it's actually Plano Amateur Radio Club, but this last launch did have something to do with Richardson Wireless Club. I don't know how they're collaborated together. That'd be a question for them. Plano's right next to Richardson, so they probably just worked together on it. That was Sunday's launch. Yes, that was Sunday's launch. That's what I'm... Oh, okay. The link you just shared, Paul? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so the name of the list is Park Balloon, and the Sunday launch was in collaboration with RWK. I assume they're Plano Amateur Radio Club since they named the group that, but I don't know. Whichever one they're with, it's East freaking Dallas, okay? It's on the other side of Dallas from where I'm at, and it's a club over there, and they do a fantastic job with balloons, but maybe they can't decide who they want to be. I don't know. So... No, it's okay, Ramon. Sorry about the rabbit hole. That's all right. No worries there. All right, what else? What else we want to... I've got 10, maybe 15 more minutes before we need to shut this down. So what else do you guys want to look for? Just for Prime. Solar. Let's just do solar. An EcoFlow. Eco-worthy. 12-pack color for replacement lights. Okay. Solar lanterns. Oh, those are kind of cool. Okay. Solar camping lanterns, rechargeable. Nice. Yeah, Timothy, the new 100-watt INIU power bank should charge the Yaesu as well. Actually, the older one that I have, I have two. I have a small one and a larger one. The larger one I have has a 65-watt port on it. That will charge because it requires a 45-watt port. That should... I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll try it. But that should charge the battery for the FTX1 as well. It should. It's more than 45 watts. So it should. Boom, boom. Oh, I know what I want. How about Eufy? I use this brand of stuff for my... I have a driveway camera. In fact, no, that's not it. I have a driveway camera. I have a robot vacuum. The dumb thing about this vacuum is it doesn't connect to Wi-Fi, so you have to just control it from the app while you're in, I think it's Bluetooth or something, but you can't remote control it. But most of their stuff, I have their door, that's the floodlight I have on my garage right now. I have their door locks on my front and back door. They have a code you can enter or a fingerprint reader. My wife and I have fingerprints. I give codes to everybody else. Everybody who I want to have access to my house. Oh no, that's not Eufy. I thought that was a Eufy game camera. I was like, oh, I would buy that. It's not though. It's another brand. So, but Eufy's a good brand. I've really enjoyed their stuff. And their stuff doesn't always connect to the internet. You have to actually get a internet hub to connect the doorknobs and the floodlight to the internet. And that's good because if you don't want people potentially hacking into your stuff, you don't have to connect it to the internet. So you don't have to worry about it being monitored, because I connected one of my door locks to the internet with the hub, but I connected my driveway light to the hub so that I could monitor it remotely when I'm not at home. But you don't have to do that. They have an option where you actually have to buy an extra piece to connect it to the internet, to connect it to Wi-Fi, Otherwise, it's just like a standalone service inside your home. You can buy a little hard drive and record video from your cameras onto your internal hard drive at home. So it's a little bit more secure than something that's always monitoring you and you don't know what data they're sending about you over the internet, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Blue Eddy is good too. Yes, Blue Eddy is a Blue Eddy 200 popped up with a 58% off, but I don't know Blue Eddy. Oh yeah, Blue Eddy is Paul, Blue Eddy is a good brand. Let's see. Blue Eddy Elite 200. There we go. Yep, 15. There it is right there. 59% off. Wow. That is crazy. Okay, then. That one's getting added. Yeah, again, like I said a minute ago, EcoFlow was the first to partner with me, so I like to promote their stuff because I personally used it, and I really, really like it. It works very well. I've never had an EcoFlow product fail on me ever. But that does not mean that Blue Eddy, Jackery, Oops, or Opus, or however you want to say it, that doesn't mean these brands are no good. Not at all, actually. These Blue Eddy and Jackery are fantastic brands. I've just never had the pleasure of actually using them. Battery laptop power bank. What's this about? 288 watt. Oh, that's kind of neat. 60% off. Wow. That's a power bank for your laptop. It'll power your laptop for a long time. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to search for Panasonic Toughbook because I need a new power adapter for my Toughbook just for Prime. Boom. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Probably out of luck with that as far as the Prime Day sale goes. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. No good. I like the 560 watt alternator charger Blue Eddy has for solar power stations. So, if I understand what you're talking about, it's a system you connect to the alternator in your vehicle, and when your engine is running, it'll charge your power station. Is that what you're talking about? Because EcoFlow has one of those that they sent to me, and I haven't had a chance to install it yet. But I'm going to use it to power my my EcoFlow Delta system that I carry with me. Is the EcoFlow and Anker both HF silent? So yeah, for the most, yeah, Anker is definitely HF silent. The EcoFlow, when you turn on the inverter to AC, does make a little bit of noise. I actually have a video on this channel using the EcoFlow Delta products. The Delta Max, I think, for while running the Elecraft KPA 500 amplifier at a POTA site. I had the EcoFlow battery in the back of my truck, and I ran an extension cord to the KPA 500, had it set up on a picnic table at Galveston Island State Park, and you could hear a little bit of RF noise. It wasn't bad, but you could hear a little bit of RF noise in that. But that's almost typical of any DC to AC inverter. It's going to cause that. I could have probably fixed all that with toroids or ferrite beads. I was just there for a couple hours that day, so I didn't worry about it. But if I do something like that again, I'll probably try to keep it there. Let's see. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh yeah. 560 watt alternator charger. It's called a Charger 1. Yes, that's right. Okay. Blue Eddy. Alternator. Come on. No results. Blue Eddy. I spelled that wrong. Let's see. Charger 1. There you go. Okay, Charger 1. Oh, and it looked like you stopped typing that because you put ... after it. Charger 1. 560 watt alternator charger. 50% off. Wow. Okay. 6 times faster than a cigarette lighter. Well, yeah, I would hope so. 6 times faster than cigarette lighter and chargers. Okay. 6 times faster than the little 2 amp cigarette lighter charger you have in your vehicle. Compatible with 95% of the solar generators. Okay, so I don't have experience with this, and I don't technically have experience with the EcoFlow either. 50% off, dude. Holy crap. Get it and try it, and just do it within the window of returns for Amazon, because if you don't like it, you can send it back. I keep losing this thing because they got these in a weird order. There it is, Prime Day. Okay. Now if I go to EcoFlow, okay, this is the one I have. It's only 32% off. Okay, so the Blue Eddy's a better price right now. This one's 800 watts instead of 560 watts. It's a 3-in-1 because it will take also a solar input, I believe. Here's a 500 watt solar EcoFlow 5. Okay, so there's a 500 watt version, $299. I'm pretty sure I've got the 800 watt version. I can't remember right now which one I have. I have one of these. I'm going to put it in the truck so that I can carry my Delta Pro power station with me to campsites when I'm boondocking at the deer lease mostly. And I've got a system similar to this in the truck that charges my external Epoch battery right now. But I'm going to put this in the truck also. So that one's not on Prime sale. This one is on Prime Day sale for 32% off. But that Blue Eddy looks like it's a better price right now. Although it's not as big as this one. It's 560 watts, so it's in between these two. But if I think that both of these would be a good choice. I don't think either one is necessarily better than the other. But that's the EcoFlow is the one I have, and again, I haven't installed it yet, so I can't really attest to how good it is or isn't. But good, I'm glad that Blue Eddy has a product similar to that. JPC 12HF. Okay, I think this is going to be the last thing. This is an official ham radio thing. My thoughts on the JPC 12HF. I haven't actually used that, but that's the one that Mike keeps raving about, right? Mike's more of an antenna guru than I am. Yeah, we looked at this earlier. It's not on sale. Mike says he was overly impressed. He was expecting very little from this antenna, but he was impressed with how well it worked, and I would take his word for that. 140. It looks like kind of like a copy of a Buddy Stick Pro, or maybe a direct copy of a Buddy Stick Pro. I don't know. Radioddity has something like this that they recently sent to me, and I don't know if I don't know how similar it is, but I don't know much about this antenna, except for the fact that Mike really likes it, and I trust his opinion on antennas. Any recommendations for an electronics travel organizer to hold wires, antennas, and 3 HTs? Any recommendations for an electronic travel organizer to hold wires, antennas, and 3 HTs? Probably this Gable bag. I do have to shut this down shortly. This guy is not... Now, this guy is in... You know, I would get something like this tool roll here. Havis Junt Box? How do you say that? I would get something like this for that. This is the one I've been recommending, and it was on sale for a while. It is currently not. They had a 25% off coupon on this one for a while. This is very well made. I've got one. I did a whole video on it. And you can keep stuff in it like, you know, you got an analyzer. You could totally put an HT in here if you wanted to. These pockets are interchangeable. They're Velcroed in, so you can move the pockets around in different order if you want to. Not on sale right now, but I'm hoping this one's already in my my idea list on Amazon. I'm hoping that they put this one on sale sometime during Prime Day this week, sometime before Friday. But that's the one I would recommend. Otherwise, just find like a tool roll or something, this official tool roll. I don't know how official that is because I think they're from China, although Gable's from China also. Ramble Gear tool roll. Okay, something like that. That's what I would recommend. Something like that. Yeah. Inline RFI filter. Okay, this has got to be the last thing because I got to go. Inline RFI filters. That's a water filter. No. They don't know what that is. Amazon doesn't know what... They conveniently don't know what RFI is because 98% of the stuff sold on Amazon causes RFI, so they don't want to admit that it exists. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't know. There's some ferrite beads. 15% off of those. Boom. Okay. All right, so once again, this is the idea list. It's right here. It's pinned to the top of this chat. I will put it in here again, right there. This is the Retevis page, which is the Retevis Amazon page, which you can save an additional 10% off this week with the coupon code of HAMRadio210. HAMRadio210. No dashes, no spaces, just HAMRadio210. Get you 10% more off of the prices listed on this page. And then we're going to give away some Retevis radios probably on my next live stream this week, probably on Thursday. So, that is that. Appreciate you guys hanging with me today. Thank you for using the Amazon links. Once again, I am an Amazon associate. These links do earn me a commission for most of the items, but they help to support the channel. If you don't want to use them for whatever reason, that's fine. Just go to Amazon.com, search, hit the drop-down menu at the top next to the search box, go to the J's for just Prime, and search for what you want to. The search doesn't really seem to work that well, but if you just go to the front page of Amazon, they've got a lot of stuff on the front page. Deals you might like, save on Amazon devices, 35% off buzzworthy deals, this kind of thing. All the stuff with the red tags on it, just look for that. Easy to find on Amazon. But I appreciate you guys using my link because it does help to support the channel. Sign up on my email list, hamradio2.com/email-sign up. Be sending out some more. There are actually several websites that are running Prime deals from their own website in honor of Prime Day or whatever you want to say, because I got at least 4, maybe 5 emails yesterday and today about random websites just running Prime deals from their own website, not on Amazon, off of Amazon. So some other sales going on. I'll be sharing those in the email blast that I send out tomorrow morning. 73 all. You guys have a good afternoon, and we will talk soon.